guys, thank you for watching the video today. Today I'm going to be doing this Worldly Wise. So let's get started. First one, abreast. Side by side. We walked 3 abreast except where the path was so narrow that we had to walk single file. Up to date. I try to stay abreast of what is happening in the world by reading the news every day. Barrier. Anything that stops progress or blocks the way. Lack of education is often a barrier to success in life. Breadth. The distance of something from side to side. Width. The arrow missed the target by no more than a hand's breadth. Wide range. Capital. Wealth that can be used to produce more wealth. You don't need much capital to buy that pizza business. The city where the government of a state or country is located. The capital of Montana is punishable by murder is a capital crime in only a few countries. Ensure. To make sure or certain. Wearing a seatbelt will help ensure your safety in case of an accident. External. On or related to the outside. The external walls of the building are brick. Feud. A long, bitter quarrel, especially between 2 families. We did not want the argument between neighbors to turn into a feud. To be enemies, to quarrel. The former friends feuded for years over a small disagreement. Fortress. A building with strong walls made to be defended against attack. A fort. Rather than attack the fortress directly, the invaders went around it. Frequent. Happening often or over and over. My mother's business requires her to make frequent visits to Japan. To go over and over. We frequent the local bakery for whole grain bread. Frequency. The number of times something is repeated. My clarinet played improved with the frequency of my practicing. Frontier. The line between 2 countries. We said goodbye to France and crossed the frontier into Spain in the early morning. The outer limits of the settled part of country. The American frontier moved slowly westward in the 19th century. The frontiers of medicine are being pushed back at a rapidly increasing rate. Peasant. A person who makes a living from working the soil, especially historically, or in poorer countries. The peasants of the Middle Ages worked hard to feed their families. Petty. Of little importance, small. A petty disagreement over a game of kickball led to an argument. Threat. A warning that one may do harm. Olivia tried to quiet her dog after her neighbor's threat to call the police. Threaten. To make a threat. My brother threatened to tell my mother that I ate all the cake. Threatening. Suggesting harm or danger. The dark cloud looked very threatening. Utilize. To put to use. We utilized whatever scraps of fabric we had to make a costume. Vast. Very great in area or amount. The Pacific Ocean is a vast body of water. Read the following sentences. If the word is bold, is used correctly, write C on the line. If the word is used incorrectly, write I on the line. Lovers of corn muffins frequent the local bakery. Cherry's frequent visits to the hospital were hard on her. Every frequency sang louder than we thought possible. The frequency of the crowd was over 1,000. The scoundrel's threats are serious. I threatened to call the police if they didn't turn down their music. Our team was threatened with defeat unless we played better. The threatening breakfast was the best I've had in a long time. The frontiers of the Roman Empire were under constant attack. The frontiers crossed the street looking for Sam. The bold woman wants to end all frontiers. They traveled by wagon to the frontier, hoping for a better life. Sonia keeps abreast of the news through social media. I had to stay abreast of the clock in order to beat my best time. The members try to stay abreast of each other by phone. We strolled 3 abreast along the boardway. The breadth of the teacher's knowledge is amazing. I waited until I got my breath back before going on with the race. The breadth was made with flour and water and a little yeast. The breadth of the hole was almost 2 feet. A vast country. No one living can remember how the fraud started. 2 men picked up their frauds and began working. Mr. Gonzalez scolded us for not showing up to class. The students took the time to divide into 3 separate vast country can be crossed by plane. The water was stored in 40 gallons vast. The dancer's vast knowledge of ballet helped her win the audition. No one was vaster than Ahal when it came to sports. The barriers at the park were taken down. The barriers are too heavy to move. The mountains were the greatest barrier to those traveling west. The twins were barrier than ever, now that they had been chosen. External voices came from outside. An external organ like the skin is one that is outside. The writer takes external notes before she writes. The external dream woke me up from a deep sleep. The capital of Ohio is Columbus. The rate of capital crime is falling. They raised the capital they needed by selling a homemade bread. The dome of the U.S. Capitol is... Circle the letter next to each correct answer. There may be more than one correct answer. Which word or words go with menace? Threaten. Which word or words go with castle? Tower and fortress. Which words or words go with countryside? Which word or words go with small? Which words or words go with put to use? Which word or words go with unhappy? Which word or words go with plenty of room? Spacious. Which word or words go with money? Which word or words go with business? Which word or words go with often? Circle the letter next to each answer choice that correctly completes the sentence. There may be more than one correct answer. The breadth of the waterfall is 2,600 feet. The breadth of the gap is the fence allowed us to peep outside. The breadth is collected and stored for later use. The breadth of hair is extremely small. The fortress had a tower at each corner. The fortress was large enough to cover the entire hill. The fortress guarded the only road to the town. The fortress was handwritten and was hard to read. The utilization of wood shavings make a great bed for a rabbit. The utilization of water dripping told me that there was a leak somewhere. The utilization of a screwdriver will help you make some needed repairs. Okay? The barrier. The barrier kept people from getting into the cave. The barrier of the river keeps the fire from the houses. The barrier is too high to crawl over. The barrier is 200 pages long and very funny. The capital moves slowly to keep from attracting attention. The capital needed for the new project shouldn't be hard to get. The capital of the United States was moved from Philadelphia to Washington. The capital crime is a very dangerous issue. To be ensured that the TV works, turn it on. To be assured of his place in history, President Andrew Jackson did whatever it took. To be assured around the boat, use a pedal. To be assured of your safety, please remain in your seats. Baseball. A threatening wave looked like it might ruin the picnic on the beach. A threatening strawberry shortcake needs lots of whipped cream. A threatening kitten walked softly over the carpet and curled up in my lap. Completing sentences. Complete the sentences to demonstrate your knowledge of the words in bold. A barrier is getting good grades might be to assure a good night's sleep, I a frequent wish of mine is you might keep abreast what's happening in the world by reading. A cat. A vast distance is one that So hi guys, thank you for watching today's video. I hope you liked it. Thank you so much. Bye.